Good morning. It's Friday, right? Okay. Well, hold on. Like, seriously, it's Friday. There we go. Okay. Okay. How we doing in the back corner? Are we still stuck? All right, excellent. All right, stay safe. Welcome to our 8th grade visitors and your parents and guardians. Thanks for joining us at BATE today. We've got a great day ahead. It should be beautiful weather. We have great activities after school. Good luck to varsity girls tennis, varsity boys soccer, and right. And to kick off the day, we get to hear from an amazing senior. Elle, come on up.
Hi, I'm Elle. I'm a senior, and I'm doing my presentation on why I love boy bands. So if you have talked to me for more than 5 minutes, you probably know that I love boy bands. From Boys to Men to One Direction, I have been to a multitude of concerts and have many posters of them on my wall. Every birthday and every Christmas, I am gifted something that has to do with Harry Styles. I even have Harry Styles stickers on my water bottle and, well, my laptop case. A few years ago, now Bay alum, Estella, even painted me a portrait of Harry Styles at the Met Gala. Next slide. A few years ago, I went to a Why Don't We concert with my friend. Why Don't We is a boy band that I really like. Right before the band came out and the room went dark, I, along with everyone, started to scream. Now, if you've ever been to a concert, you know that moment where everything goes dark and there's all this nervous energy and everyone's really, really excited. And everyone starts to scream. I then proceeded to scream, cry, and shake. Now, I've done this before at a Niall Horan concert, but this time it was a little more extreme. I was shaking so much that I began to fall. I was shaking so much I literally could not stand up. My legs were just like giving out beneath me. My friend caught me and then proceeded to hold me up while I was screaming, crying, and shaking. Thankfully, that only lasted like a minute tops, and then I was up around dancing. Yeah, a really good friend. A man behind me tapped my shoulder and asked if I was all right. My friend holding me just responded, "She's just emotional." I then heard the person next to me say, "Oh my goodness, these hysterical girls." This is the message my friends and I have received for many years, that we are hysterical and crazy. Oftentimes at school, or really anywhere, when people find out about my love of boy bands, they ask why. It has never really been a genuine question people ask, more of a judgmental one. But after hearing this question over and over and over again, I also wondered why. So I'm going to share some of my research with you. Next slide. So first things first, I should probably define a boy band. Now, the definition changes depending on who you ask. Contrary to my father's belief, not every band made up of boys is a boy band. My definition is a group of 3 or more young male identifying individuals who all at some point sing in at least one of their songs. For example, some boy bands have members who play instrument, some don't, but what makes them a boy band is that they all sing. Some examples of boy bands are NSYNC and 5 Seconds of Summer. Bands who are not boy bands are Maroon 5 and My Chemical Romance. Next slide. The first thing I noticed when doing my research was how negative liking boy bands is perceived. Oftentimes throughout history, when a male or a group of males comes into popularity in pop culture, there's this mass hysteria perceived around them. Hysteria itself is a term only used for women, saying only women can be crazy and show too much emotion. Oftentimes, when talking about male-dominated interests like sports, we hear words like dedicated and not hysterical. But really, the same thing is going on. People being excited and joyous about something. This expression, when seen in women, is often called fangirling. Now, I believe fangirls is not a gendered term. It used to be, but I think a fangirl really means a person expressing excitement or joy about something. That being said, in today's society, being a fangirl or fangirling is a term only used for fans of boy bands. But really, anyone can be a fangirl. Excited Marvel fans are fangirling. My brother yelling at the TV at a basketball player is fangirling. Me screaming about Harry Styles is fangirling. Next slide. Something that I have found in my research is that fangirling is part of being a young adult. Liking boy bands is part of growing up. Really, a hyperfixation on anything is part of growing up, whether it's Star Wars, Harry Potter, fantasy football, or Hamilton. Mine's just happens to be boy bands. And that's no coincidence. Music is one of the first things adolescents use to differentiate themselves from their parents. My dad really likes ELO. I really like Harry Styles. Idolization is also part of being a teen. We are looking for new ways to define ourselves outside of our families, like values, style, food, etc. We are finding role models and idolizing new people that are not our parents. Before the internet and mass media in general, this would often be some sort of family friend, but because of the access we now have to celebrities, they've become role models and people we idolize. When our brains are fully developed into adulthood, we tend to lose our hyperfixation on celebrities and other things. We still like boy bands and Star Wars, but not in the obsessive way that we were when we were teenagers. This is because when we become adults, we don't really need these role models and guiders like we used to. We have our morals, values, and communities formed, so we don't need to look to others for those. Next slide. Community is another wonderful thing about liking boy bands. Something I have learned is that you are never alone. You always have a friend. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in a new situation with new people and have been able to easily make a friend due to our shared interest in boy bands. Something I have learned during my research is often why fans scream. It turns out it's a form of communication. It transcends language and actually taps into a primal instinct. Just like when you scream when you're scared, it's a release of energy and also lets others around you know that something scary is happening. Same thing at concerts. It's a release of joy and a way to communicate with everyone around you how happy and excited you are. Next slide. And lastly, it brings joy. When we find things that make us happy, we want more and more of them. So if boy bands make you happy, like they make me happy, you will probably listen to them more and more and consume more of their media. I don't think I could quantify how happy it makes me whenever I hear the beginning of "She looks so perfect," or when people come up to me to talk about Harry Styles. It's just an immense amount of joy. So next time you see somebody fangirling over Harry Styles or BTS or Star Wars or Marvel or whatever it is, just remember they're not crazy. They're not hysterical. It's just a part of human nature. Not to judge others for their joy, but to join them in their